What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful.com and FightfulMMA.com. Lots of MMA, lots of boxing this week. Most notably on the MMA side, Felder versus Hooker on Saturday. But Bellator actually has a couple of shows too. I'm going to give you betting odds for all these shows, at least what we have. Over on Bellator, you have Valentin Moldavsky, a massive minus 760 favorite over the plus 530 Javi Ayala. Now, I think Moldavsky's going to win this. You got to put 5. Got to put 5 on Javi Ayala. The same thing, I think, of Timothy Johnson at plus 520 against Tyrell Fortune at minus 740. These are heavyweights swinging their fists at each other's face. Probably Tyrell Fortune is going to take down Timothy Johnson and smother him. But still, worth a flyer. Brandon Gertz, a plus 205. Miles Jury, a minus 245. I like that line where it is. Ed Ruth, a plus 115 underdog against Yaroslav Amosov, who has been awesome. He's a minus 135. This is at Bellator 239, and they felt the need to run another night of shows, and effectively 2 more shows. Weird that weekend. I hate when Bellator splits these weekends, but the next day you have Georgia Karakanyan, a minus 140 favorite over the plus 120 Paul Redman. Aaron Chalmers, a minus 240 favorite over the plus 200 Austin Clem. Judith Ruiz, a plus 270 underdog against the minus 330 Leah McCourt. McCourt's one to look out for. Imik Furtado, a massive 335 plus underdog against Kiefer Crosby, who is minus 420. And you have Brent Primus headlining the show. No disrespect to him, but minus 740 favorite against Chris Bungard, a plus 520 underdog. What the hell, Bellator? But over on the Felder versus Hooker card, let's go ahead and talk about this show a little bit. Priscilla Cachoeira, who is in fact alive after Valentina Shevchenko destroyed her a few years ago. I feel like Mario Yamasaki still hasn't stopped that fight. Woof! Well, she's a plus 180 underdog against Shanna Dobson, a minus 220. I like those odds where they are as well. There's no way you can take an ass whooping like Cachoeira took and then be the same person. It's just not realistic, but she is significantly more experienced. She's lost 3 fights in a row, though. She's never won a UFC fight. So, man, it's weird for me to see somebody who's lost 3 straight UFC fights against a person who, on Ultimate Fighter and Tough, is 1-3. It's just, it's just not a good fight. This shouldn't be in the UFC. Takashi Sato, a minus 135 favorite against Maki Pitolo, a plus 115 underdog. You have Angela Hill, a minus 175 favorite against Loma Lukabunmi. Now, I'll tell you what I love about this. Angela Hill fought less than a month ago against Hannah Cyphers and was like, yep, you know what? I'll run it back against this young gun, this 24-year-old. Hannah Goldie pulled out of the fight, and Angela Hill was like, you know what? I can get 3 wins out of my last 4 fights. I'll do it. And if she does that, you want to talk about a turnaround. She was close to being bounced from the UFC again a year ago. Less than that. This will be her 6th fight in 11 months. Unbelievable, man. And she was almost out of the UFC at the end of March last year. And then she turned around a month later, beat Jodie Esquibel. She did lose to Jan, but she came back and won 2 more fights. Man, I got a ton of respect for Angela Hill. I got her winning this. Kai Kara France, a minus 260 against the plus 220 Tyson Nam. I like that where it is. Keenan Song, a minus 200 against the plus 170 Kaylin Potter. You have Jake Matthews, a minus 200. Email Weber Meek, plus 170. I think Meek might be able to pull one off there if you're looking for a betting underdog flyer. Kevin Aguilar against Zubaira Tukagov. Aguilar a minus 120. Tukagov a plus 100. This one's too close to call in my estimation. Brad Riddell plus 120. Magomed Mustafayev. Mustafayev is a favorite at minus 140. Brad Riddell a plus 120. Ben Sassali, a plus 125 underdog against Marcos Rogerio de Lima, minus 145. You have Jan Jian, a minus 255 favorite over Karolina Kowalkiewicz. To me, Kowalkiewicz needs categorical changes. She is not the same woman that we saw succeed up until 2016. Even her 2 wins against Jodie Esquibel and Felice Herrig between 17 and 18, I didn't think she looked the same. She's lost 3 fights in a row. She's lost 5 of her last 7. I have Jan winning this fight and perhaps helping further establish a new contender. Is it really establishing, though? Because she's 4-0, and I know that a couple of her wins weren't that great. I mean, the Viviane Pereira win was nice, and the Angela Hill win was nice, but this would be the biggest one, even though Kowalkiewicz has lost 3 in a row. Jimmy Crute against Mikhail Alexachek. I like this fight, too. And Alexachek is a slight favorite at minus 125. Crute is a plus 105. But Crute is one of those guys I'm looking for to do some good things in this light heavyweight division. I know that he lost to Misha Serkinov back in September. Before that, he looked pretty good. He could finish on the feet, on the ground. And that, to me, that says something when you have a guy that young that's shown his ability to do that. But you have Alexachek, who's just as young, coming off of a loss, has shown that he can finish on the feet. I do think that Crute might be a little more versatile. I'm going to go with Alexachek here. But this is good booking by the UFC. At least one of these young guys has to win this fight. So I like the idea of booking them against each other. Paul Felder, who a whole generation of people know him as, or fans, I don't want to act like he's been doing this for 20 years, know him as an announcer, but he's not lost a lightweight fight in quite a while. He's coming off of wins over James Vick and Edson Barboza. I know that he lost to Mike Perry, and he's got that great win over Charles Oliveira as well, taking on Dan Hooker, who is trying to get himself into the title picture. Dan Hooker's a minus 145 favorite. I'm picking him, but it would not surprise me to see Felder win this. This is another good booking. I don't think it should have headlined the show. I don't think it's a main event. I mean, if it's an ESPN Plus show, maybe, but they really needed at least one more name on this show. But I got Dan Hooker emerging victorious here, but it would not surprise me at all to see Felder end up winning this. If you guys still have time, or actually if you have the time personally, it's still up there. Join our UFC Pick'em. Thus far, I've only incorrectly guessed on 2 fights. 2 fights this year. One being a Juan Adams fight that should not have even been on a main card. And then we had the Diego Sanchez DQ this past weekend. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe. We're out.